Dries Van Noten was inspired by Frank Zappa and Oscar Wilde for his new collection. Put those two unlikely partners together, combine them with an art wall that was being painted while we were sitting here, and you've got yourself a fashion happening, which was quite a bold move for Dries.
I really tried to do something which I call psychedelic elegance. So a more free way of thinking about elegance in menswear.
Putting those two quite contrary elements together, they had this kind of poles apart thing going on.
I think it was kind of meshed together in the tailoring. That's where it kind of, those two worlds collided.
The silhouettes were just sort of like big or cropped, you know, one or the other, and it seemed a bit scattered, and it travels between the really sort of constrained and also very sort of fluid.
So you have the elements, which is the more historical ones, referring to Oscar Wilde. When you start to look very carefully, you start to see, in fact, all the text. It's all parts of texts of Oscar Wilde. And then you have also the more kind of 60s craziness of Frank Zappa. So you have the nearly psychedelic tweeds, blazers with the owls and swans. You have like the big monkey sweaters.
That is so Frank Zappa, that's unbelievable. He offered the two options, elegance or psychedelia, and if you should not feel particularly partial to either, you'd be in no man's land.
That's true, but there's something always about his clothes that can suit anybody. So maybe you wouldn't go for the psychedelic prints. You could find other just very simple, the knits, the easy cuts.
I love the idea of all of the really, really skinny pants. You know how skinny those pants are? I mean, it's like everything was with a skinny pant that was hemmed a little bit short. And it gave the perfect foundation for those big oversized coats and the perfect pea coat. And it was artistic, it was classic, it was Dries at his best.
You could go two ways with the way the world is now. You could play it safe, or you can just plunge recklessly into the unknown, and this feels more like that.
It's a risk. I'm fully aware. I'm also quite nervous now. I just said, okay, now let's go for that. Let's bring in color and fun and big paints. I'm fully aware it's a risk to go that way. But I just wanted to do that.